For more than 44 years, Belzona, an international company, founded to develop, manufacture, and distribute state-of-the-art polymeric repair and maintenance systems, has been keeping the wheels of industry turning. Belzona is the proven source of cost-effective solutions for the refurbishment or replacement of damaged machinery and equipment and buildings and structures. So how do some of Belzona's leading consultants describe their experiences? Jim Anthony, a successful 3-year Belzona consultant, services the offshore, marine, and chemical industries.
I was looking for a business opportunity that was challenging, something that was interesting, and primarily I was looking for something that had unlimited financial compensation to it, and I've obviously found that with Belzona.
Jim Norberg began building his Belzona business in 1992.
The business that I was in and the fellow that I was working for really did not hold up to the contract or the bargain that we had struck. I had decided to start my own business, made the decision to start my own business, and made an offer on a business locally in Pensacola that we couldn't come to an agreement on. During that period of time, the Belzona opportunity came up, and it looked good, and I took it.
My technical background was more in the area of industrial air filtration, and when I came with Belzona, this was a bit of a departure from what I'd been exposed to before. Although I was comfortable in industrial sales, the Belzona product line was brand new to me.
Jeff Herndon, Consultant of the Year and member of Belzona's Millionaire Club.
Really, I didn't have any technical or industrial background. It was very foreign to me, and when I came into this environment, I was really very scared, and it was just something that I had to overcome and learn the industry, and it just took a little bit of time.
I heard of Belzona, or learned of Belzona, literally through an ad in the paper, and called a friend of mine who was a machinist for many years and asked his advice. And he said by far that was the best product line on the market.
I decided to start my business with Belzona after interviewing with the Belzona regional manager. After looking at the information that he could provide me, looking at the market and talking to a few of the other existing independent consultants, the opportunities looked endless to me. As I developed my business with Belzona, I found out that just about everyone can use the product.
I think the challenge, and a variety of challenges that is offered with Belzona, it's incomparable. And the personal satisfaction that I have gotten from this has really been wonderful for me.
When I first came to initial training, there was so much technology introduced to me, the products, that my head was really spinning. And they also covered the sales end, which was something that I had never done. And so it was a new experience also.
The training class that I went through was extremely good. The level of instruction, the people who did the teaching was by far some of the best that I've ever experienced. And one thing that's good about that too is that you never stop learning. This is not only challenging, but it's very interesting work.
Belzona provided superior initial training. They provide you with all the information on the products, hands-on training, the applications that are the most readily available in the field, the applications that can provide you a living in the beginning. The training itself actually comes in the field, in talking with customers, looking at the applications, and studying the vast amount of information that Belzona can provide to you in order to apply the material to the customer's needs. Belzona provides regional assistance whenever you need it. In the beginning, the regional manager was up there working with me in Pensacola from the Miami area on a monthly basis. And he would not just come up for a day, he would come up for a week. He would go in and talk with customers along with me. He would provide critiques after I was able to set the appointments and talk to the customers about the product, which helped as we were developing the business. He trained me in some of his techniques in presenting the products to the customer and was able to give me confidence in the product and the program as it developed.
Chuck Wakefield, a 16-year Belzona veteran, has completed thousands of successful applications in the petrochemical, paper mill, and hazardous waste disposal industries.
I felt fairly competent after mixing up the first little bit of Belzona that we mixed in the office, that I figured, gee, they told me this stuff would stick and it would get hard, and I didn't believe any of that because I'd never seen anything like it before. And it did, so I felt competent at that time to go out and attack the world.
As far as being confident with these products out in the field, it took me about six months to a year. After you do a few applications on your own, and you build confidence, and it helps you convey that you're capable of doing these repairs for your customers. So,
Now, I covered my household expenses the first year in business in sort of a checkerboard manner. It was not easy. Had I not had a wife who was working, we would have been in deep trouble.
well, in the first years in this business, it was really tough. I had my wife working, which helped, but you know, I had to make sales every week to generate income, and it wasn't really easy at times, but fortunately I had enough consistent business to cover the expenses.
My initial financial expectations for the territory were very high. After looking at the business itself, trying to decide how I was going to approach the customers, I expected to set the world on fire. When you look at our product, it's a product that everyone can use. So consequently, my projections and forecasts were a lot higher than I actually ended up with.
Well, in the early days, role prospecting was very important to me. I had a lot of new faces out there that I had to see, customers that have never used Belzona or even heard of it. And so I spent a lot of my time calling on new accounts, meeting new people, so prospecting was a big part of the early business.
I started knocking doors, cold calling. I made 15 cold calls a day when I first started, every minimum, every day. If I didn't get to see anybody, it counted as a call because I'd at least leave a brochure there or something. And I repeated this every 2 weeks, back to the same people that I called on before. Yeah, I didn't expect to go out and sell them something on the first call, but I did do a lot of repeats back and forth, back and forth.
In the very beginning, I dabbled with a couple of other product lines. That proved to be very counterproductive. And all I do now is Belzona, and I'm much the better for it.
Actually, I had 8 different product lines, unrelated to Belzona. What I found out was that they did not offer the opportunity that Belzona offered. As I developed my business, those additional product lines went by the wayside because the commission and the opportunity with Belzona was so much greater.
In the 17 years that I've been with Belzona, I've never sold anything but Belzona. Belzona is a unique business in the fact that you can make a lot of money selling Belzona, but you have to concentrate your efforts on selling Belzona.
I didn't carry any additional lines. I was 110% Belzona. I think in order to do this business, you really have to give yourself to it day and night and whatever it takes. And so I decided that I want to do well at one thing, so I focused just on Belzona.
The office arrangement that I started with when I started my business 5 years ago was an actual office in an office building. I have heard a lot of people starting in their homes, which is a very inexpensive way of starting your business. The thought that I had was I was starting a business, and I was not just a rep, I was developing a territory. I wanted an office. I have 3 children. It's very difficult to work around children sometimes. I wanted to be able to go in at 4 o'clock in the morning if I got up and I needed to do something. I wanted to stay there till midnight if I had to. And I wanted the convenience of a conference room that came along with the office.
My office arrangement really hasn't changed over the years. I work out of my house. I have a desk, a computer, and a fax machine, and a telephone. And at times it's kind of tough in your home with little ones running around, but I used to just get out of the house and I'd go to a hotel where there was a phone, and it was a quiet place that I could make some phone calls.
When I started with Belzona, the biggest challenge that I had was learning what mechanical things were. Not so much, I understood the Belzona already a little bit, but I had no mechanical background.
So financial is the number one. The number two is the time that it takes to build that business. You're working 12, 14, 16 hours a day if you have your heart into it.
I guess the most difficult challenges were the steady income. It was like riding a roller coaster. You'd have some weeks would be good, some weeks wouldn't be good, and the challenge was trying to get a consistent income, meaning consistent sales. So that was a real struggle the first couple of years.
For consultants working through Belzona, Belzona offers a tremendous amount of support, both marketing, sales, product, shipping, product availability, customer assistance, mailings. It is one of the best businesses that I've seen in the marketing and the product line area. There is nothing that you want for that you don't get in this business.
Well, the support that we've gotten from the Miami office as far as shipping product, technical services, it's been great, and they're all very important. You can't have one without the other. And you know, in our business, a lot of it's emergency situations, and we get quick responses, and the product is shipped or FedExed, and it's worked out real well.
The only mistake I feel I made early on in developing my business was that I did not devote all of my time and energies to Belzona. Had I done that, I think I would be just a little bit ahead of where I am now.
I made several mistakes when I first started my business, and the first one was not focusing on Belzona by itself. Because we're all interested in gaining financial independence, the additional lines took away from my ability to focus on Belzona.
Well, I think one of the things that I did best was I provided service, and I was dependable, always there, but that was very important to me, and you know, that's one thing that describes me is giving good service. And a customer said one time, he told me, "You're like a shirt pocket, you're always there when I need you." So
The thing that I liked to do best when I started my business was prospecting, cold calls, patience and persistence. I knew that I knew nothing about the type of businesses, the type of repairs that these people made. I knew they didn't trust me when I walked in their door because I couldn't talk to them on the same level. But I figured as long as I kept coming back and they knew that at least I was for real, I wasn't somebody that walked by with a fly-by-night thing.
My customers, I think, looked at me early on as, well, they looked at me with a bit of skepticism because the story that I was trying to tell is almost too good to be true. But it's the Belzona story, and it is true. To this day, I'm not treated as a salesman at all. I'm treated as a consultant, I'm treated as a professional, and I'm treated as a problem solver, and it is a wonderful feeling.
when I first started, as far as being perceived as a Belzona consultant, me not having much sales experience, I needed all the help I could get. And really, the name Belzona carried me in the early days.
The customer is buying from me, I think, peace of mind. Someone they can depend upon when they're in a bind where they've got to, they may have a costly shutdown that they're involved with. Belzona can come to their rescue and has done so historically.
When I started with Belzona, I did the same thing. I called on the same people. I helped them with the applications. I never did. I sold them a product because that's what I made a living with, but I sold them service. I still do that. I service my accounts. I'm not an order taker. I generally get most of my orders in person, or now they do a lot of them through purchasing, but I know about them immediately. I try to deliver the product that I sell. If they need any help, I'm there all the time to help them along. But a service, what I sell.
Well, I think what the customer really is buying from us is service. We have a great product, which makes it easier, but they're really looking for service.
Relationship selling is critical. It's how you survive. If your customers don't believe in you, know that you're going to be professional and you're going to show up, you will not have business. But the person who is dedicated and professional will succeed.
My business growth, and and the development of my territory, I believe my business will be quadrupled in 5 years from now.
As far as down the road goes with Belzona, my business is doing well. We've got a lot more competition in the field now. I see it, but it doesn't bother me. I don't think that's a problem. Belzona is constantly coming up with new products and new technology, so we're not selling the same old stuff. The marketing department in Miami, the availability of product information that we have now, it's much nicer than it used to be. That I can't see anything but sales being increased.
I enjoy the Belzona business across several different planes. One, the customer satisfaction. I think that's probably number one because it makes me feel good. Number two, it's very profitable. It gives me a lot of time to do what I want to when I want to do it.
The thing that I really like about Belzona, and the thing that I've liked since day one, was I do something different every day. I really do. I go out and maybe see the same customer. But it's always a different application, and it's still a thrill to me to make some of them work, because we really get in some unique situations at times.
Well, the thing I enjoy most about this business is just, you're kind of a hero a lot of the times. And, that's very satisfying to me, is to go in and help a friend, get through a problem, and then get out of there and just be part of their team. And that's rewarding to me.
Well, it would be very good for a new person starting out in this business to have an alternative source of income or some financial resources to draw from. The first year is by far the toughest.
If you decide to come to work for Belzona, if that's your choice, I think that you should probably have some knowledge of sales, or if not, listen to somebody that's going to tell you about it. I think the prospecting and the familiarity with your products is real important to your success. I think that it's a lot easier if you get a customer to keep him than it is to find a new one, and you do that through relationships. You have patience. Belzona is not something that people just buy and put on their shelves. They usually call you when you need it. You have to have patience. You have to be persistent again. That's a big thing. You have to keep seeing them where they need to buy something or not, because one of these days they're going to need you, but you have to be around, and they have to remember you.
In considering a business opportunity with Belzona, I feel that a prospective consultant should feel comfortable with the financials. They should have the support of their spouse or significant other, and be willing to work hard in the beginning to develop the customer base, to develop the territories, and to understand the Belzona process. Knowing the Belzona process, looking at the material over and over and over again is the key to success once you've got your financial and your family situation taken care of.
I think that the reason Belzona has become the world leader in this industry is because of our founder. He will settle for nothing better than being the best. And he has put in the time and the effort and has spent the money to get this operation to where it is today. And it's because of his desire to see this company be the world leader, and I'm very appreciative of it.
I believe Belzona has a commitment to quality that is unrivaled in the industry. It's certainly what I've experienced.
I sell Belzona, and I've seen the other products out there in the marketplace. I sell Belzona because I know what my product will do. I also know what the other products will do because I've seen them fail on a regular basis. I've made it my business to know how to apply the material so it doesn't fail. I've made it my business to interject when I think that we have a product that needs some improvement, and it's constantly improvement going on. But you look at the other stuff that's on the market. You look at Belzona, the quality, there's not even any comparison. The laboratories we have in the UK, the chemists that we had over there, the plant that's over there, everything is quality control, quality control, quality control.
Well, as far as being Consultant of the Year, when I first started, we came to Miami to a convention, and I saw these guys on a platform up in the front getting their awards, and it really, it put something in me. It's something that I wanted to try to achieve. I didn't know if I could, but after a few years of working real hard, it started to happen for me, and I was fortunate enough to be able to get this award, and been able to hang on to it for a few years, and I'm glad for that. But really, I've had a good time doing this, and this is just some of the benefits that go along with it.
For over 44 years, Belzona has had the vision and know-how to provide system solutions that keep the wheels of industry turning.